Hello everybody. I'm afraid I have to share with you the news that my wife has coronavirus, and this is going to have some implications on my activities at the university for the rest of the semester. At the moment she's pretty unwell and I'm taking care of her, but hopefully she'll make a speedy recovery. Inevitably I'm going to get the virus, and so is our son. So I've taken the decision that in the interests of taking care of my family, first and foremost, and protecting you from exposure to the virus, I'm not going to come to campus for the rest of the semester. Now, obviously that's going to have unfortunate impacts on what happens for the rest of the class. And in the rest of this video, I'm going to run through what kind of things I'm going to do to try and ensure that you get the content that you need and you get the contact with me that you need in the run-up to assessment and other things like that. So I'm really sorry about this, because I know that it comes on the backdrop of several weeks of strike action where classes haven't taken place and you've not been able to contact members of staff, and my particular situation now means that that's essentially going to be extended. But I really hope you can understand it's a difficult situation for me to be in, and I'm taking the decision I'm taking in your interests as well as in the interests of my family. I'm hoping that whatever symptoms I experience, it's not really going to stop me from being in contact and being able to deliver things like drop-in sessions. But please watch on in the video and I'll run through all the different elements of delivery and assessment that are yet to come in the class, and I'll hopefully give you clear details on what to expect, and hopefully put your mind at rest that we'll still be able to cover what we need to cover. Thanks. First things first, our planned lecture in week 10 this week. So the materials are online now on the class site under each individual week, which were weeks 7, 8 and 9. So we had decided to condense that material into one lecture. So obviously I won't be doing that now, but there are recorded slides on 2 out of the 3 weeks, and a slide deck and reading for the conflict week. So there's plenty of material up there online for you to look at, and please do the reading and work your way through the recorded content. You can take the opportunity to ask me questions for clarification or further conversation during the planned drop-in sessions, which I'll come on to. So there's no actual lecture this week, but there's recorded content up online now for you to have a look at. Because of strike action, I've only just started going through the submissions for coursework 1 and working on feedback and marking, but I plan to return feedback and marks on the 26th of March. So taking account for the industrial action of a quicker turnaround than is required, I can tell you that so far performance is very good, which is lovely to see. Well done. That doesn't mean that everybody's got 95%, but generally the performance is high. Nobody has failed so far, and I'm really pleased to see that people have worked hard on this and engaged with the materials really well. So well done, and feedback and marks will be returned on the 26th of March. There were a number of drop-in sessions planned before the end of the semester to help you with preparation for coursework 2. These will now be conducted via Google Hangouts instead, which is, if you've not used it before, it's just a bit like joining a Skype conversation. However, you don't need to have your camera turned on, and you can send questions via the chat function on the Google Hangout. So it's as simple as joining and sitting, and you'll see me in the screen and I'll talk away. I'll be doing that this Wednesday, so that's a slight change from the drop-in schedule that had been advertised online. You'll see that on the class site, the drop-ins page has been altered to reflect the new plans for the rest of the semester. So this Wednesday at 2:30, that's when the first drop-in session takes place. That's the 18th of March. I'll share a link via email immediately before, and by clicking on that link, you'll be taken directly to the Google Hangout. And as I say, you don't need to have your camera on. You can just simply watch with your camera turned off, and if you have questions for me, you can send a question. You might want to just stay there for the whole time, just to hear what different questions other people have, and perhaps people might actually ask the same question you'd wanted to ask. There's no obligation to do that, but it's just a bit of advice. There are further drop-ins towards the end of the semester, and you can see them on the drop-ins page on the class site, and they'll run exactly the same format. Google Hangouts, access link shared immediately before. For week 11's planned class, which was going to be a kind of recap session and workshop on coursework 2, I'm going to do that as a live broadcast, quote unquote, during the normal lecture slot on Tuesday at 2:15 on week 11, and that will use Google Hangouts as well. So just like the drop-in sessions, I'll send a link immediately beforehand, and by clicking on that link, you'll be taken directly to the Google Hangout session. And as I say, if you're not comfortable with it, you can just keep your camera off and listen in, and I'll use screen share to go through the materials for preparing for coursework 2. Now, the coursework 2 submission deadline is currently the same, and I say currently, and I've capitalized it on screen because the situation with coronavirus is changing on a daily basis, and by the time we get into April, a lot of different things could have happened that may disrupt submission deadlines. So I'm approaching this on the basis that it's the same at the moment, but all I can say is keep an eye on your email, and I will be in touch if anything does change. Please ensure that you have engaged with all the support and guidance materials that are available to you. So there are examples of good and bad previous attempts at coursework 2. There are frequently asked questions, there is the coursework brief, and of course there are the drop-in sessions. Please make a point of attending the digital drop-in sessions. There was a clear difference in the performance of people who had attended drop-in sessions for coursework 1. You could see that they had really attended to the requirements and thought carefully through what they needed to do in order to develop a good argument, and the same thing goes for coursework 2. In general, please keep an eye on your emails, and that's to do with this class and then more generally for the university. If you do have questions regarding coursework, please take the time to read the guidance materials that are online already. I'm taking a lot of time at the moment to go through emails and inquiries from students, understandably, no problem with that at all. But if I've already spent the time answering questions in the guidance materials, it's a waste of my time to have to answer those questions again because someone hasn't read the materials. So do take your time to go through those materials before you get in touch asking questions. And also please do be patient with responses. We are getting a lot of contact from students at the moment and completely appreciate why that's happening. When I am at work, I do my very best to respond in a timely manner to all emails that I get from my students. I know I haven't been at work recently, but I'm back at work now, and all I ask is that you give me a little bit of time in case you don't hear back from me immediately. So I hope that gives you a bit of detail about what we're going to do to try and get the class finished and get assessment taken care of and make sure that you feel you've had exposure to the right content so that you can fulfill any remaining assessment requirements. All that remains for me to say is take care of yourselves. Please keep following the advice that is out there from the government, from public health, and any advice that you're getting directly from the university. Take it seriously. If you've got concerns, get in touch. You can get in touch with me, you can get in touch with your class reps, but this is a rapidly changing and quite scary situation, and I'm experiencing it firsthand at the moment, and all I can say is do take care of yourselves and keep in touch with your families, and if you need any kind of assistance, reach out to try and get some help. So I wish you all the best, and hopefully I get to see you sometime soon. Thanks again.